Going to be making up a really simple snack today. It's going to be bruschetta. Now bruschetta is so simple to do because all you do is get some lovely ingredients, put them in a bowl, mix it up, get yourself some lovely bread and toast it on both sides, and then just put the two together and you've got a delicious little snack, beautiful starter for dinner parties, bruschetta. So to get on and make this bruschetta, what we're going to do is quickly run you through the ingredients we're going to use. Now the first thing is, we've got the tomatoes. I've actually taken those from a little tomato plant in the back garden and they're really delicious sweet tomatoes. But the main thing is, if you're going to go and buy your tomatoes, pick them up, smell them. If they smell good, they're going to taste good. I mean, I'm going to use like these little baby ones. These are sort of fairly small, so it's like cherry tomatoes and some of them are even smaller. The cherry tomatoes, I'll probably chop those into quarters, 4 pieces. And the smaller ones, I'll probably just chop them in half because what you don't want to do is make your tomatoes sort of small and pulpy so it's just everything's run into each other. Make it so when they bite into a bit of tomato, it's juicy and delicious. Then I've got a little bit of red onion. Now I haven't got too much, I actually sort of chopped a little piece away from here, so it's not even like a quarter, it's slightly less than that. Now what you want to do is not put too much red onion in and chop it down really fine. Now the reason you don't want to put too much in is because it really kind of just adds a little bit of flavour and a little bit of kick, but you don't want too much that is too overpowering. So only a little bit and chop it down fine. Then I've got 1 garlic clove. Now what we want to do with that is either crush it, so if you've got a pestle and mortar or a little crusher machine, otherwise chop it down as fine as you can. Now the next thing we've got is fresh basil. I absolutely love fresh basil and it grows really well inside the house. Just make sure you give it a little bit of water now and again, and it smells so good. You touch the leaves and you smell it. Oh, it's just so nice. I love fresh basil. Now what we're going to do is use a good handful of that and just keep little bits on the top, these little pieces on the top, and we can kind of just dress it up at the end. So fresh basil, chop it down nice and fine and just use a sort of good handful of it. Get some basil flavours in there. Now I'm also going to be adding a sprinkle of oregano. Now, in fact, I'm actually going to use fresh oregano. I've got a little pot in the garden. I'm just going to peel these leaves off, chop them down fine. So I'm going to use fresh oregano, but you can use oregano that's dried because that's perfectly good and really is a delicious flavour. So dried oregano, about ½ a teaspoon. Then we've got the salt and pepper. Now I'm going to use black pepper and some salt. Do those to taste. What you want to do is put some in, mix it all up, and then you can taste at the end. And if you need a little bit more salt or a little bit more black pepper, do it to taste. Then I've got some extra virgin olive oil. Gives it a lovely flavour. Now what you want to do is just put a little sort of glug of that in, but don't go too much where you swamp it all. You just really want to get everything coated with the olive oil. Now however much extra virgin olive oil you put into the sort of mixture, only use half the amount of balsamic vinegar. Because really, balsamic vinegar and olive oil and a little bit of salt in a salad works really well and it's really delicious in the bruschetta. Now the other ingredient I'm going to use are these slow roasted tomatoes in a little bit of oil and oregano. I actually bought those from the deli store, so they're ready to go and they're really flavoursome. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop them up nice and fine. I'll probably just use a few of those and a little bit of the oil because the oil is really flavoursome as well. Now this is kind of like a little luxury, a little extra, and you haven't got to add it. You know, you can just not put that in and this will still be a really nice bruschetta. Now as an alternative to these slow roasted tomatoes, maybe you could use like sun-dried tomatoes. You know, those ones in the jar in the liquid, you could pull them out, chop them up nice and fine and use those. Or if you've got any really nice olives, chop the olives up and you can add those and maybe a bit of that sort of mozzarella. You know, the balls of mozzarella, just chop some small chunky bits of that and add that into your bruschetta. So you can really make this your own bruschetta. So now I've run you through the ingredients. What we're going to do is get it all washed and prepared and chopped up so we can just put it together in that bowl and get that mixture ready to go so we can just pour it on that lovely toasted bread. So I've got all my ingredients prepared and I've got a bowl there, so what we're going to do is just mix them in. First of all, I've got my tomatoes. Look at that, they look really nice. And then we're going to add this sort of red onion, but as I say, don't add too much, so I think that's probably enough. I've got that lovely slow roasted tomatoes, so just pour those in. And again, you know, put the oil in because the oil's good. Then we've got that sort of fresh chopped up basil. Get all that out. And again, I've got fresh oregano. If you haven't got fresh, obviously you can just use some nice sort of dried oregano for that. And I've got the 1 clove of garlic. So that's the main sort of ingredients there. Now what I'm going to add is a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just going to put it out a glug. That'll do. We don't want to kind of coat it, we don't want to sort of swamp it. And again, roughly about half the amount of balsamic vinegar. It's got a lovely sweet flavour, but it's really nice. I think that'll probably do it. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of ground black pepper. Obviously do that to taste. And again, the same with the salt. You know, you can always put a little bit of salt, mix it up, and then you can taste it. And if you need a little bit more, you can always add it. So, you know, let's give it a little bit of a mixed up, taste it and see how it is. So, just give it a nice mix with a spoon. And then you can just taste it for seasoning really. So, grab a little bit, see how it's going to taste. Get a good sort of, you know, bit on the spoon there. Let's try that. Really nice combination. I think what I might do is just add a little bit of salt and maybe a little bit more oregano. Again, just a little bit more salt and just a fraction more oregano. And I might just add a tiny little bit more olive oil, because it all gets soaked up with that beautiful bread. So just give that final stir and give it a taste and make sure it's how you like it. You know, don't guess it, pick up a spoonful and taste it. It's the best way. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and then what we're going to do is bring a little sort of baking tray with that bread. Now obviously with the bread you can kind of toast it under the grill, or you can do it in a toaster, or if you've got a barbecue going you can, you know, however you've got it. What you want to do is just get a golden brown colour on both sides. Now, because I've got a number of them, I'm actually going to put them under the grill, keep an eye on them, and just turn them over halfway through and try and get a nice golden brown colour, and you know, then we're going to pull them out. So let's put them under the grill. So I've got all my bread and it's all toasted up. Now the first thing I want to do is just put a little bit of this beautiful olive oil. I'm going to use an extra garlic. You haven't got to do this, but if you like the sort of flavour of garlic, what you can do, I'll just show you, just lightly rub it. Same with, like, you know, if you're doing garlic bread, just rub a little bit on. It just gives it a lovely base, mixes with that olive oil, and it's just delicious. So I'm going to do that with all of those, and then we're going to add that mixture on. So I'm only using a little bit of it, and that's all you need. You only need a little sliver, just sort of rub it along, and it will be delicious. Then we've got this mixture. Now the thing about this mixture is you can leave it in the fridge, cover it up with a bit of cellophane, and leave it for a good couple of hours to really marinate. Now I want to kind of get on and eat, so I'm just going to sort of mix it up very gently, and I'm just going to spread this along onto each piece of bread. So I'm just going to carry on doing this with all of them, and then we're going to put it on a plate and try some of it. Now I didn't quite have enough mixture to fill all of them. I've got these two at the end here, but to be honest with you, these are going to be really good just as they are. Look, it's like garlic bread. That is delicious. So you can imagine what they're going to be like with this lovely mixture on. So let's put them on a plate, serve them up and try one. Just put them on there. And then people can help themselves really, so that looks good. They look so delicious. Put these right that way. Just gonna kind of squeeze these all on somehow. That's good. I'm going to put that one there on top. Now just to finish these off, I've got my basil sort of plants there, so let's just pop those on there. There you go. I think we're done. I think we've got enough basil on there. Beautiful. Now obviously if you had your sort of bread and your mixture and it looked a bit dry, you could always just put a little bit more olive oil on, but I think mine look absolutely delicious. So I think I'm going to try this one nearest to me. Look at that. Pick that up. Doesn't that look nice? You can see the bread's kind of soaking up all those beautiful juices. Let me just try that. Oh. That is so good. And with that little extra bit of garlic on it, we rubbed on the bread. Oh, I love it. That is such a nice snack. Or if you were doing a dinner party, to serve this up as a starter, that's beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to try the last bit of this. Oh, I love it. Heavenly. This bruschetta is absolutely flavoursome, fresh and beautiful. You'll love it. Thanks for watching as always, and thanks for all the ratings and people who subscribe and comments. I really appreciate them all. And thanks for watching my videos to the end. All the best, the original Naked Chef.